Welcome to our first episode of Smutmas, our first special of December. Today we are discussing Christmas with Krampus by Jessie Knight. Better be careful what you wish for. In this realm, even your darkest fantasies come true. Vivian heads to the Alps for a ski vacation, trying to erase painful memories from her past. On Christmas Eve, she finds herself alone, lost in a snowstorm, in an enchanted forest. Unbeknownst to her, a monster has been waiting for her, and he wants to make her darkest, steamiest desires come true. Monster, human romance, HEA, standalone quick read. Grab a copy and see what these two get up to on Christmas Eve. This holiday novella is our first special where we will be doing holiday novellas all month for Smutmas. You're welcome.
Yay!
Welcome to Smutmas, our first special, and we have a special guest for our first Smutmas episode.
You
Our
might
friend
have just seen my
Angie.
butt because I was probably going to get my laptop. So you're welcome.
Give us a little booty shake.
No, not for free.
Donations are on her link tree.
Just go down to the compliment jar.
That's where those booty shakes go.
If anyone wants to donate any books, we all have wish lists. Ours are in our link tree, and Angie's are in her link tree.
Ariel, get on that then today.
Mine
to
is
make
already
sure
in
that
there.
Crystal's just kidding. Crystal,
Because I saw you didn't do it, so I did it.
listen, it's been a rough month. It's been a rough month.
I know, it's fine. We'll take donations. That's how you want to help us out. Do that. Give us books. That's fun for us.
For this Smutmas episode, we read Christmas with Krampus by Jessie Knight. It's a novella.
It is a novella, and I picked the book for the cover.
Yeah, I know unless you're on TikTok, be on TikTok. What is wrong with you? Unless you're on TikTok, you won't have visuals. But, oh yeah, you will, because it's on the top of the episode. Duh. But this is the cover.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Krampus can get it.
Yeah. And he did.
And he did.
He did.
So this novella was about 63 pages long, and not all of those were this book, because there was another book at the end.
This book was very short. What was it, like 6 chapters?
It was like 53 pages.
Something like that, yeah. It was not very long. I finished it in about 15 minutes. So if you're looking for
Took me about 45 because I'm a slow reader, but yeah.
I zoomed in it.
Less
It was a wild book. So the book kind of opens with like a few articles right at the beginning, kind of detailing some like clinical trials that are happening and discussing how like I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, Nephilim. Is that how you pronounce that word, by the way? Nephilim.
Sounds good to me.
Fuck if I know.
So that the Nephilim can mate with humans. One's like more conspiracy, one's from a scientist, but part of it's redacted. And then like another one is from just like another article. So
yeah,
it's interesting. So it's just that. And it basically
I was really confused.
I was also confused. It's fine. I was confused for most of this book.
I think it was.
I actually said many times, what the fuck am I reading?
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's December.
Yeah.
I like I said before too, I don't go into novellas with a lot of expectations, especially holiday novellas, and like I'm cool with that. Like our Thanksgiving one, fucking train wreck, so much fun. It was great. This was wild. So our female main character, Viv, which we learn a little later on when she's talking on the phone what her actual name is, because we don't know it at the beginning. The whole book is in her perspective, which is kind of nice. I didn't really need to get into Krampus's head. He was enough.
I really wanted to. I love that.
She's sitting at a bar drinking and reading these articles because she's just gone through a divorce. And as she's just sitting there
on Christmas Eve.
In case you're curious, this book takes place on Christmas Eve. Surprise, it's a Christmas novella, guys.
It's a holiday novella.
Yep. And her brother's calling her, inviting her to Christmas. And she goes, nah, She just doesn't want to
No
be
thanks.
here
I
sad,
can't hear
No
you.
thanks, bro.
right?
I
She
can't
just
hear-
doesn't.
You're breaking up. Bye.
I'm going
Right.
through it. I don't. She doesn't want to have to go there and sit and be sad because she's going through this divorce. She doesn't want to be around her fucking family and be sad about it. So she's just drinking, and she just keep, she orders a couple drinks from the fucking bartender, and then she goes, "I'm just probably gonna take this," and fucking whips out a pill. And in case you're curious, this pill is the I Manifest pill. Yep. I know. It went from drinking to pill really quickly.
And a friend from work gave her this pill, and it's
Yep.
supposed to give her like hallucinations.
Basically,
or
it's
something?
supposed to like take you out of your brain and basically make it so if you manifest something, it'll just appear for you briefly, and then when the pill wears off, everything disappears.
But her inner dialogue
Is
during
wild.
all of this time was written so strangely because there was conversation back and it was just back and forth, like
That
between
part-
herself, and
So it confused
it
me
was
a lot.
confusing at first, and it was just really weird.
Yeah, because it's
I-
all in
I did not
quotations as
like
if there's it's as if there are two people speaking with the quotation marks, but it's not. It's her talking to herself and back to herself. Instead of doing like an italics for an internal monologue, it's interesting. But she's giving herself like this little pep talk.
She's in the bathroom, straight up
She's in the-
looking in the mirror,
it's so
fighting for
funny.
her life, fighting her demons.
She's giving herself this pep talk in the mirror, and she's like, "What are you doing over there?"
Fighting my demons.
Oh, and she's just like in it, and this lady walks in because she's like, "Oh,
That would have been more amusing than the dialogue that we got.
Yeah, it was just so funny because she's like, "I want a man, not just any man, a large man. In fact, I don't even want just a man. I want a monster of a man, someone that can crush my old life out of my head and give me some awe-inspiring memories today. That's what I want." And then
But
some
then-
lady is just like, "Here's a card."
Some lady just busts out the stall when there was no one in the stall before. Some old lady. Ta-da! I'm here, bitches.
She's
Vivian
like, "Oh,
was
just
like-
be careful because the forest is enchanted because it's Christmas." And then she just
Basically, she's like,
You're
"This is
on a
what you wish
ski
for."
slope.
Like,
and she
First
just-
of all, you're on a ski slope at a ski lodge. Where's the fucking forest?
at the
There's
bottom
a
of
forest
the
at a
snow, I
ski- on
guess.
ski
I don't
slopes.
fucking know.
Yes, there's wooded parts of the ski slope. Not consider that a forest.
Well, apparently in this book it's a forest, so you need to fix your expectations. This is a holiday novella about banging Krampus. I don't know
Suspend
where the
belief.
logic needs to come in here, but that is not it.
Okay, here's the thing that bothered me most about Vivian. She's like, "I want a monster of a man," and then she's so fixated on like, "But why is your tongue like that?" Like, bitch, you just said you wanted a monster of a man. Did you
Listen.
think he was gonna have a normal freaking tongue? Like,
But we
Yeah.
haven't met him yet. She's excited.
So then it was just so funny because then this random fucking lady hands her like a playing card, and it's got just this picture of a super built dude, and she's like, "It
The
looks
number
like
11.
the devil," and she goes, "It may or may not be depending on what you're drawing to you in the form of your thoughts. It looks like a monster, yeah." And I'm like, "Bitch, what is happening?" So we learn too that like as she's just heading out to ski, she just gets lost in her thoughts, and she just thinks about her husband, who is a shitbag, by the way, because we learned that she wanted kids in this whole thing, and then what does the dude do? Fucking gets his secretary pregnant.
Have
So,
kids with a secretary.
Yep.
Isn't that what everyone does when they want children?
Okay. Like, "Oh, I just gotta get out. I just gotta get over him." So she's on this ski thing, and she gets off, and then the ski thing. She's on a ski lift. I know what a ski lift is.
I know words.
And
Words are
she
good.
starts like going, and then she gets lost. But honestly, I'm gonna chalk it up to her being high, and that she's lost. All of a sudden,
Well,
just-
she chalked it up to that too. She
I
was
mean, I
like,
would.
"Oh, look, the drugs are kicking in."
Yeah. And then
Yay.
out of nowhere, this dude shows up, and he's like,
"Who sent you?"
"Who sent you?" And like still talking to herself like, "Oh, you wanted an adventure." The internal dialogue through this whole thing, she goes, "I really think that pill should have worked by now. Charlene's getting a piece of mind," and she is fucking like losing her damn mind before Krampus shows up. I fucked up. It's fine. So then
It's
he's
okay.
yeah. So then he shows up, and he's like, "Who sent you?" And she's like, "No one." And he just stares at her, and he goes, "Come." And he just like and then she gets on the horse.
So again, we need to suspend belief because of what this is. However, you're lost in the woods. Giant dude shows up and you're like, who are you? And literally no real conversation, and then they both just get on a horse. Did
There's a
I
lot of
understand
things.
that's what happened?
Well, you know what though? Maybe in her brain she's like, well, this is the drugs working, because she does think that a lot.
But I meant story-wise.
Yeah, well,
There was no in between, right? That's just
63
what
pages
happened.
of story. We're fine.
Actually, I think it was more like 40.
So, and he just ignores her, and she gets on a horse, and they just
My
go.
original rating was way too high.
Forgot to rate this.
I know, I saw that, and after I looked at it afterwards, I'm like, I feel like I'm being mean right now.
No, I did
We'll get
not
there.
think about it as hard as
so-
I should have.
Yeah. So they arrive at this house, which is clearly his house, because again, she's on horse, and they're just do 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 do. So it was interesting because as they're riding, this is what I have highlighted: is they're sitting on the horse.
It was all in the same paragraph.
Yeah, and he is sitting behind her. And she just goes, something so large that it travels up my back. It can't be. Oh my God. Is that his cock? I mean, what the hell else would it be? Who has a cock that size? A monster, Viv. A monster has a cock that size. Am I getting turned on by this? I'm getting turned on by this. I'm like, girl. And then she goes, is it my imagination, or is Krampus getting hard?
And again, I'm pretty sure this was all in quotations too.
Was not.
Oh, okay. It was just that first
Some of
part
it
that I
actually,
was like,
some of this internal
some
dialogue
of it is and some of it
was
right.
in italics. In
Well,
this
she does
section,
know what that is. Great.
Random
I don't know.
weird. I was gonna say I know that
I-
some of it was towards the end, but I wasn't sure
and
if
I'm
this
not
is where
trying
it
to.
turned.
I'm not being mean. I just am telling you how it is. And honestly,
Crystal's on for the ride.
I was here for the ride.
She's
and so wasn't
Crystal's
she.
on the horse, and she is there.
Yeah. So then they get to his house and they meet Bathilda or Batilda. One of the two. Don't know how it's
I'm
pronounced.
saying Bathilda.
I was
I'll
saying
say
Bathilda.
Bathilda.
Okay, cool. We all agree it's Bathilda, and if it's not, it is now. I kind of dig her though. But like,
My favorite
so,
character.
and she goes, hello, Master Krampus. And he's like, Bathilda. And then he goes, she needs robes. So then she's just changing into other clothes.
Why does she need robes?
I mean, well, we know why.
I mean, she lives in a castle now, I guess.
Yeah, honestly. So the thing is, like,
It's robes and nothing else. It's
Yeah.
weird.
naked. It's fine. It's fine. Who needs clothes?
It's a smut novella.
This was like a weird fever dream.
It was a weird drugged dream.
It's a holiday novella.
I know.
Where do you think this is going?
Apparently to Krampus's house. That's all.
His
Castle.
castle.
His castle. The house sounded beautiful because they did describe the house. So weirdly enough, there was some not descriptions with things, but some like really good descriptions of other things, and I was cool with that. Like I was like down for this. And of course, she describes Bathilda as a large bosomed woman with massive dark hair, and I was like, okay, big titties.
Because,
Sounds
yeah.
great. You know what? That I'm here for it. Then he decides to tell her she needs to drink, and she goes, I don't want to drink. And he goes, you're going to drink. And then he asks Bathilda to get his schnapps. And she goes, okay. And he goes, the special one. And she goes, oh, okay. And I'm like, what the fuck is so special about these schnapps? Because I feel like whatever.
We never find out.
We never find out. It's fine. It's okay.
I have a feeling he was gonna like do some kind of weird ceremony with the robes and the schnapps, but then she was being
But he's like-
belligerent. She was being belligerent. He needed to punish her.
Yeah. He's like, you need to drink because this offends me if you're not drinking. And I'm like, bitch, calm down.
No, you know
And
what? I
then-
understood that because if you're hosting, proper host etiquette is like you offer somebody a beverage and they take the beverage and they drink it and they say thank you. Like those are proper etiquette customs of hosting people. And he's like, bitch, I'm trying to adhere to your human ass customs. Like fucking drink the shit that I'm offering you.
Honestly, it's a
Solid.
good custom if you're not planning on fucking somebody. He had ulterior motives.
Hydrate.
Yes, he cared about her hydration.
Yeah.
Except booze is not gonna hydrate you.
No. Then he tells Bathilda to leave the room. This goes very quickly. And she leaves.
That
And then
escalated quickly.
he tells her, you've been a very naughty girl this year, Viv, and now you're going to pay the price. And then he spanks her. She gets super turned on.
Plot twist, but not really.
And then, not long after that, he like lays her
But
down.
for real, that
and
escalated
fucking
quickly.
goes to town on her with his fancy little tongue. He like slithering his tongue up her thigh, and I was like,
Yeah. He has this weird ass, like, black tongue that's like as long as a snake.
Here is where I highlighted a couple of things. I was along for the ride. It is what it is. I
highlighted one on this one.
highlighted two on this page. One was, and she called his tongue a huge organ, and I was very confused.
Yeah, that was
I had to
really...
reread it again.
And
Yeah.
then
I mean, technically,
It is, but why are you
but
using
I've never heard it
biological tongue?
referred. Right.
okay, no, but then goes, he's still got his tongue inside of her, and just says, I squirm, my pussy clenching around his member. I'm like, but it's his tongue. It's not his dick. So I had to highlight
But
those.
it's as big as a snake, so
Yeah,
you know.
but
I
there's another
understand
quote
that.
later that I don't like the way it's worded either. So I think that there was a misconnection. Later it goes, once you get a taste of this meat between your thighs, you're never going to want to let me go. And I was just
Listen.
like, first of all, a taste of this meat between your thighs. Like, all those words don't go together like you think they go together.
It's giving
I-
seed energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nobody
Number two, that's gross. But I did highlight, what are you? And then he says, what a rude question to ask, Viv. Try this. Would you like a turn, Krampus? How about I suck your cock down in your dungeon until you come down my throat? He was correcting her every time.
I
Like,
mean, it kind of goes.
it
with
was like
the
he was
whole,
molding into his own little pet.
yeah, but it kind of goes with the whole like Christmas thing of like naughty
Have you
and
heard
nice
of
and
Krampus?
like
Because
brat
Krampus deals with the
taming.
naughty kids. So
yeah,
this
brat
tracks
taming.
100%. This tracks.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
100% on point with characterization. I will say, like that is
Yeah.
something that she got right. Or he.
Absolutely.
I don't know who the author was. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Didn't read it.
Somebody
Yeah,
named
so-
Jessie. It could be.
So then
They
she's
Jessie
it
got it
right.
right. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, sex dungeon. There's a sex dungeon. And you know what? In
Love
a
that for
castle,
him.
not even surprised. And then it just
It wasn't
goes,
as cool of a dungeon as I thought it would be, though.
no, I wish it was cooler, but that's okay because
Yeah.
then she blows him.
I honestly, I had trouble picturing the dungeon, and I don't know if it was just a me thing.
It was not described well
Yeah,
enough.
I just-
They literally only described like the table that she got put on.
Yeah. All I had was it went from 0 to sex dungeon pretty fucking quickly. Well, more like 70 to sex dungeon because we were already like in there. So he commands her a lot. He commands her undress.
But if you're into that,
I mean, yeah, that's fine. But then he's like, you've been with a very bad man, Viv. I don't know why he decided to bring her ex up in this whole situation.
Wow.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, especially. He's like, now that you've met me, your life is going to change. Suck my cock. And I was like, okay. I want to know. Okay, so we've had drugged cum. This cum apparently tastes like praline caramels. I don't even know what that tastes like.
hashtag Smutmas.
I think if cum tasted like caramel, it would be a lot better.
While we're talking about flavored things, there's this cute little store in Washington called For the Love of It, and they have like this spray that is for fun BJ play, and you like it's
Ooh.
also like a numbing spray, so that
Okay.
it like
Oh, I've seen that.
yeah, it's called like Deep Throat or something, and they do have holiday flavors. So for the love of it.net, they're small owned mom and pop.
But
sex
I've
shops,
seen it like
so.
at other places too, though. But that's cool that they have, because I feel like you've had other things that are cool from there too.
So this part I also didn't enjoy, and I am going to hate myself for reading it out loud. But here we are.
I'm going to enjoy it. This is going to be fun.
My eyes widen as he starts to shoot his load, frothing jets of cum spewing with great force down my throat. I gag and cough some of it out of my mouth, drip down the sides of my lips and spill off my chin, coating my tits in his cum. Please don't use the word frothing. Please don't
So
use
let me be the person who I am and just say this comment of someone did not understand the assignment.
frothing jets of cum. If
I
it's
think she was
frothing,
trying-
probably you need to get looked at.
I think she was trying, I think this Jessie person was trying to incorporate as much Christmas-like terminology as
Yes.
possible.
Gobs, though, gobs of cum.
I
If
couldn't
it's
tell you.
gobbed, also probably see
I
a
could have done
doctor.
without the gobs.
I could have done without the frothing.
Yeah, I could have done without a lot of
Frothing
this
at the
stuff,
mouth
but that's
sounds
not
like
what we're
rabies
about.
or
That's
something.
a little different. Like I can understand froth. That's fine. So then they get to the point where about the you taste this meat, you're never gonna want to let go of me. So that's fun. And then they say I love you
Aw.
to
On
each
the
other.
first night, I mean,
And then they fuck again and says, if you don't stop moaning like a little whore, I'm gonna blow. You're super tight. Yes. Then they bang. But she screams a lot. She's like, I'm never gonna leave here. I'm never gonna leave. Yeah. He like kind of explains to her that he summoned her. She may think that all this is happening.
This is where things got really off the rails for me. I just
This
want to.
is where things got off the
Okay.
rails. This part of the book.
As a whole, this book was a clusterfuck, but I could understand the holiday novella part of the clusterfuck until this moment. And then I was like, what the fuck are you trying to put in this book, and where the fuck do you think this is going?
the author is trying to give the book substance when it's a smutty
I didn't
holiday
need
novella.
substance. So he explains that he summoned her, and she's thinking like, no, like I took a red pill, like this. I dreamed you of this as a dream. He goes, no, I summoned you. Also, he owns an AI firm.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Because I feel stupid.
Like I said,
Did he? Did I read this real quick? Did I read this wrong, or did he pull out basically a dream board from under the side of his bed and was like, "No, look, it's your picture."
Yeah.
Like, you have a dream board as a cramp. Okay.
Listen, and then he says, you know, she has something for her for like in 2 years, and she can see it. Anyways,
but she can't have it now.
No.
Just wait 2 years.
So here's the other thing. They made a comment about how she speaks perfect German. I'm sorry, they speak German? They're speaking German in this book? Did I miss that?
Yeah, it was said at the beginning.
Okay, good, because I didn't even see it. And I was like, wait, they speak German.
It would have been better if we knew like where the setting was. Like, it would have been good if we had any background in the beginning. But I think it was in the bar scene at the beginning where she made some kind of comment about someone speaking German to her or something, but she understood it because she spoke German, kind of thing. The only reason I clocked it was because I didn't understand why it was put there the first time and what the point of that was.
So the point technically is because Krampus, his origins are Switzerland, southern Germany, and Austria.
Yes.
And he's known for being in the Alps. So it makes sense that
I felt like it was too reaching. Like it was just too reaching to get that point.
If you're going to bring the German in there, put the setting of where we are, put like more into it.
And don't make it too this because of this and make it too wraparound. Like just make it set there and that's where they are.
I mean, just go full Krampus with it, baby. So then we fast forward 2 years. He is having dinner with her family.
That was fast.
So that was interesting. And then he asks her to marry him. And we also find out that the board is she's pregnant. Because guess what? She's pregnant. Surprise.
Surprise.
We fast forward 9 months and we get her giving birth. Because
without drugs to a big demon baby.
Let's explain.
Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, and it's a son. And they're very happy. Yes, he's got a very giant head. And that was Christmas with Krampus.
Ta-da!
It was a wild ride. And if it seems like I zoomed through things, it's because that was the book.
It was like less than 40 pages.
It was very quick.
In actual reality.
That was the book. That was our first,
Smutmas episode.
Anyways, that was a book.
Who was everyone's favorite character? Bathilda.
Yeah, the big titted bitch. I liked her a lot. Bathilda.
That's what I want for Christmas. I want me a Bathilda.
Who was your least favorite character?
Vivian.
I'm going to say, I don't remember her name, but the friend that gave Viv the drugs.
Her coworker?
Her coworker, yeah. Who the fuck gives your coworker a hallucinogenic drug?
Who the fuck takes the hallucinogenic drug from your coworker and just has no questions?
Your coworker slash friend.
I didn't like any. Okay, I'm going to say I didn't like any of these characters except Bathilda. So I'm going to say everyone but Bathilda is my least favorite character.
I don't know. I feel like in the way that we excuse himbos, I excuse Krampus because he was a bit of a dummy, but he was hot.
But honestly,
the stupid things that came out of his mouth.
But
no, for sure.
Here's
in
the
same
thing:
way that we excuse himbos.
He's Krampus, so and it's Christmas time.
I didn't like any of the characters but Bathilda. Not for me. I didn't like any of the characters but Bathilda.
I didn't
Krampus gets
super
a
love
pass.
any of them, but Krampus
Yeah.
gets a pass. Yeah.
I think Krampus gets a
Okay.
pass. Christmas time, we need to behave ourselves or Krampus will come for us. Okay, so then let's not behave ourselves now.
Personally, I'm into the whole brat taming thing, so I don't really
I
give
know.
I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Back
I
off,
don't
back
think I've had a good
Door's
track record
open,
lately. I
okay?
don't think I can dig myself out of this hole.
Okay, so Amazon gives us a 4.0 and Goodreads also gives it a 4.0. And there are not
Weird.
a lot of ratings on them.
Oh, how many
But it's
rate?
also
Is it very
it
low?
is 49 on Amazon and 25 on Goodreads.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah,
originally,
It came out December of last year.
I had given this a 4, but that's again because I made my phone read it to me on the way to work, and I wasn't looking at all the grammar stuff. So that knocks it down a 1.5 for me. So I'm gonna say 2.5. Solid 2.5. I also feel like the whole AI plot thing wasn't explained at the end, like after the nasty, like if it was like sprinkled in throughout, maybe it would have gotten a higher rating because just plot wise, it didn't make sense for you to add substance to a smutty book that late into it. Like
You didn't even
there's
need to
no
add substance
payoff.
into a holiday
Yeah,
novella. I'm gonna be honest.
exactly. Like if you were going to do it right, like sprinkle
if you're
it
going to
in.
do it right. I say that all the time. Yeah.
But like I appreciate the author trying to make it make sense. But
However, I also gave this book a 2.5. I was really confused throughout most of this book. This book did not have any solid direction that it was going in at all.
I
And I
didn't
didn't
went in
like-
Christmas.
And I did not like
Christmas Eve. Sorry.
basically any of the character. It was just not great for me. It
I
was
gave
just
it a
not my vibe.
3, simply for the Krampus tongue.
wait, what did you give it?
A 3. And a sex
for steak.
dungeon. I want more description of the sex dungeon, but that's okay. It's a hot.
Honestly, the tongue probably gave it the 0.5 for me because I probably would have given it a 2 if it wasn't for the tongue.
Yeah. This was a ride.
It was a ride. Cute, Crystal.
Oh boy.
She did not write him, but okay.
Anyways, cucumber rating for everybody.
I gave it 4. 4 cucumbers. 4 inches of
Out of
cucumber.
10?
Yeah, we do out of 10 as of episode 3.
No, I know, but like 4 out of 10 for like you gave it a whole 0.5 for just the tongue. Like
I gave it a whole 0.4 tongue.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 inches.
mine was way too high.
Honestly, I was thinking about
So,
going a little bit higher because I did enjoy
my-
some of the others.
My scaling is based on like how spicy it is. So like how much kink there is in it, how many people are involved, like, you know what I mean, how many scenes, like how good it is.
Well, I gave it an 8 out of 10, but I feel like that's too high. But I mean, there was a goddamn
a
sex
6.
dungeon, and there was a lot of brat taming, which is hot. So, yeah, I'm actually gonna stick by that 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna go with a 6. Actually, I'm gonna change mine to a 6 because
Mine's a 4.
my only issue with it realistically, besides I wanted more, as Ario would say, I just want more, is I didn't like some of the verbiage used and how it
Yeah,
was
it wasn't
described
written
was a
well
little gross.
for me.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't written well for me.
It was the frothy cum. I don't.
On that, yeah, I think, yeah, I'll change my rating to a 6 with Crystal because,
It-
yeah, some of that, the whole meat thing.
The only non-vanilla part you could talk about is his tongue. So you got a little point for that. And then the smut to book ratio was high. So that's where the 4 came in. It's not great. And there's only 2 people.
Only 2 people, spoken like a true reverse harem queen.
Yep.
Next time on our Smutmas special, we are going to dive into a novella that we know nothing about. We are blind bagging that thing. It has no cover and no blurb. It's going to be released, well, for us, very shortly, but we picked it when it was just a title, and it's a holiday novella, and we're just going in. We're like,
Balls to the wall. Balls deep like Krampus went inside that lady.
Go sit at the corner. 5 minutes.
I am technically
Sit-
sitting in a corner. You're very
sit in the
correct.
smut corner and think about what you've done.
Don't think about what you've done.
Ooh, I have 2 corners. A smut alcove.
Oh, that's fancy. I like that. A Smut alcove.
Make sure to keep reading.
And keep smutty.
In Smut we trust.